My name is Alfred Darlington, and I use the alias Daedelus. I grew up with a deep and unabashed love affair for Parliament Funkadelic and musique concrète. That was the music that was going on in my household. So these two factors together made me pursue jazz. I don't know why. If I could find a plug. Is there any extra plugs by chance? I have a little. In doing so, I was playing bass clarinet and double bass, and totally disillusioned by the whole world of jazz. So eventually, I began to seek electronic sounds, not unlike that. So. I think I'm a very typical son of Los Angeles in the sense that it's a huge city and it's a crazy collision of different styles and sounds. I went to USC and very, very luckily, the University of Southern California, very, very luckily I met a fellow named Mark McNeil there. He was the head of the radio station at KSCR. It was fantastic. I was being exposed to this crazy world of jungle and a lot of scratch DJs, people like the On Point crew, which actually I shouldn't mention any names because they're all probably dead and gone at this point. But Mark McNeil survived and Dub Lab was formed, and at Dub Lab I really had my first chance to do releases and to meet people like Carlos Nino, who was the first person to champion my sound. I did recently a record called Love to Make Music 2, which is kind of a play on words, but also it's a big question mark. You know, Love to Make Music 2 blank. Hopefully people will fill in the blank for as what they kind of need to have it do for them in a way. It's really influenced by the artwork of a fellow named Joseph Cornell. You know, you take kind of collage, or, you know, in school people did those little, you know, shoebox kind of things where you'd have things in different perspective, and it's really simple and plain and very beautiful and focused on these beautiful objects, I think. Not unlike some of the music, hopefully. And in the same way, they did a lot of things with this. They kind of tied in this Victorian aesthetic that I like to try to propagate, even though I look shabby in consideration today.
You know, when the web gets written,
this funny device is called a Monome, or a Monome, or a bitbox, or that thing with buttons, or a light bright, or cheating. Some people have called that cheating before. It's very, very interesting that most electronic music, especially laptop-based music, is a hidden process. So in turning the Monome forward, I feel like people have the chance to regard it. Also, it's kind of cool too, with it being buttons and not like a touch screen. I don't need to look at it the entire time. And I know it's a really small thing, but it's huge in terms of performance. It's incredible how, if you're improvising, if you're really sitting there with the audience trying to figure out what they need or want or what they expect, you can have really vastly different experiences that way. It doesn't have to be an automatic like throw up of the previous night. So you'll see these different those are the different 4 channels. We could have made it so the software, or Brian could have made it so the software had more than 4 channels, but this is a nice restriction. 4 seems to be a good place. If you can't make a song out of just 4 basic elements, then you shouldn't be in a rock band, and I'm obviously not in a rock band, but it's that same idea basically, drums, bass lines, vocals, and lead. So obviously the fun that can be generated just out of making the computer learn your movements, go further down the way, and then keep messing with it, messing with it, messing with it. It seems like that's my MO, pretty much. There was a moment in time when I was doing a lot of work with this guy named Taz Arnold, who comes from a band called Sa Ra. Taz and this guy Major were in the studio one day and working on some vocals for a different song. They ended up kicking this verse for Obama. And it didn't necessarily fit the song it was in, but we all knew that it was something special they had done. And this is before Super Tuesday, California's big election day. Now, there was a little cussing in their original verse. I think the actual words, and you can edit this out, was "Fuck what your mama say, I'ma vote Obama way. It's real, it's hood, we're throwing it up." Or something like that. I can't believe I forget it because I damn repeat it in the song like 7 zillion times. So it was a minute-long thing before Super Tuesday, and it kind of caught some attention. It was very strange. People like Hollywood Reporter ran some stuff about it, and you know, the internet does its weird thing, and people were talking about it. Probably, as, you know, as a partially positive and partially negative thing, but I don't really care because you're not making music for some 45-year-old pundit. You're making music for a 21-year-old or an 18-year-old, you know, person who may or may not vote for something. I mean, it's not necessarily about Obama as much as it's about doing something you're passionate about. I mean, how often does anyone get a chance to like put their argument and weight into something that they believe in? It's rare enough, so.
This is real and not for play. I'ma vote Obama way. We hood, we voting and throwing it up. This is real and not for play. I'ma vote Obama way. We hood, we voting and throwing it up. Throwing it up and throwing it up. And I'ma vote Obama way and throwing it up. We voting Obama way and throwing it up. We voting Obama way and throwing it up. I'ma vote Obama way. What your mama say? I'ma vote Obama way. What your mama say? I'ma vote Obama way. And